Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back your lovely faces to a brand new video here on the channel. Well, today we're going to be taking a look at just how biased that the UK media is. As going through a lot of things, I have been looking to see how many people are in fact actually reporting the Dan Wooten story. And it seems to be not that many. When you compare it to Meghan Markle, Hugh Edwards, Philip Schofield, there is so many more stories regarding them than there is Dan Wooten. And remember, Dan Wooten is, he's been accused of a lot of horrible things. So let's take a look. So this is one of the only ones I can actually see for Dan Wooten. When this is coming from the Daily Star, and this is in regards to his £150,000 crowdfunding thing. So Dan Wooten's £150,000 bid to fight allegations fails to move past 25% of his target, even though he's the one out there rallying everyone to stick up for him. The GB News presenter appeals to the public last week to fund a legal battle to fight criminal allegations made against him, but he remains a considerable distance from his target. GB News presenter appears to be failing miserably in his bid to raise £150,000 towards legal fees. Despite reportedly having a net worth of millions, the 40-year-old, who was also a columnist for the Daily Mail, appealed to the public for cash donations on the 21st of July. I have actually sent emails to Violent Times. I've also sent it to Daily Mail, The Sun, and also GB News, seeing what is actually being done. So far, I've gone 3 days now without any emails. So we'll see how that comes. I'll probably get nothing. Since then, however, his supporters have pledged just £37,500 as of 3 p.m. yesterday afternoon, amounting to 25% of his goal, with just £3,000 of that gifted in the last 6 days. Well, it looks like his friends are not sticking by him. Wootton has been the focus of recent allegations published by the Violent Times, in which he accused of using fake online identities to offer money to unsuspecting colleagues in return for videos of explicit nature. And this is what he put on there, obviously, the Hard Left blog and all this stuff. But when you look at him, so I put his name into Twitter. We'll just do it again just so you know it's the first page. This is what we got. We got, obviously, Violent Times 2 days ago. 18 hours ago was the Daily Star. But then it goes 2 days ago. Who was his partner and are they married? The Guardian, 5 days. Then it goes like 2 weeks and 1 week about everything that has already been covered. But then when you look at Philip Schofield, who literally 2 days, everything, you could see all these different actual news outlets are all reporting on the Philip Schofield exit, on what he's actually done. Like by their year, even though they are 3 months and 1 month and everything else, you've got so many of these stories against Philip Schofield. And, he did some stuff that was very creepy, but again, no. If they've investigated it, there's been no police report saying that he's actually done anything which is being criminal, So we have all of them there. But then we go into Hugh Edwards, who, again, you can see this is the very first one. By here, you got one at the very bottom. This is 2 days, 5 days, 3 weeks. And that, they're all still reporting on him. What's going on. Hugh Edwards, the Sun response to UK parliamentary inquiry, says, we stand by our reporting. But they haven't come out anything regarding Dan Wooten now, have they? Hugh Edwards faces months off air as BBC investigation could last till autumn. 2 weeks ago. But you could see so many things on there. And that's just the first page going back 2 weeks. We'd go to another one. Again, it goes straight away to 5 days. CMS committee writes to the Sun and BBC over the Hugh Edwards media coverage. Hugh Edwards, MPs raise questions over the Sun, but none of them are doing it regarding Dan Wooten. They're asking about, the Hugh Edwards situation, but are you looking into Dan Wooten because of these allegations? But they're not. You got these ones by here, obviously. Like, you got a guy who actually he falsely accused Jeremy Vine as the accused BBC star, agrees to donate £1,000 to charity. Hugh Edwards, see, that's 3 hours ago. Where's Hugh Edwards right now? But again, you've got all of these, but there's no Dan Wooten kind of stories like it. But then you go into Meghan Markle, and I put in Meghan Markle, Dan Wooten. And this guy, man, does he hate Meghan. You know, I don't really care for the royal family. I'm not a fan, and I don't like, I don't like them, and I do not like them, if that makes any sense. To me, they're just people out there. But Dan Wooten, all of these stories regarding Meghan Markle, 2 weeks ago, April, May, you got 1 month, 2 weeks, May, 1 month, May, April, 1 month ago, and it's all Dan Wooten articles, if you look. You got Netflix wants to follow Spotify out the door, and these are all Dan Wooten stories. They're not other people's. These are all from his GB News stuff and the Daily Mail. And it wouldn't surprise me if we go far back as well on these, that we will probably find the Sun. What I've also been doing as well is I have been looking for Dan Wooten articles on the Sun, because you can go back to some of the very first articles that this man put out. And this is page 65 of 78. 78, so these are the first ones by here. And I believe these were so 2016 is when he first started becoming the big editor for The Sun and everything. But when you go back, and if you just go back to page 1, he's got quite a few things on there regarding his mate Boris and everything else. As you go back, you can see that he's done, all these are just his comments. These are my opinions, these are what I'm doing. There's his buddy, Nigel, But when you actually look at some of his exclusives that he did on The Sun, and remember now, we actually know how he got his exclusives. He would literally force other people, other journalists, if they had contacts, he would somehow get their info and tell them, you deal with me and no one else. Literally pricing all the other journalists out of the game and just kicking them out the door. But by here you got on there, BAFTA announced major shakeup to increase diversity after whitewash claims. That wasn't an exclusive. Cain and Abel, Captain Tom signed 7-figure deal. Captain Tom is no longer with us. But again, exclusive? No, it wasn't. And when you go back as well, I have seen so many regarding Meghan Markle of how he just hounded her. He literally hounded the shit out of this woman, and he still does. And it's absolutely insane to see. But there is one thing as well I want to show you before we do go, is the other day on his GB News channel, he came out with this. Carol Vorderman savaged for desperate tantrums over Tories as star branded embarrassing. No, she's just pointing out exactly what is happening in the Houses of Parliament here. And Carol Vorderman came under fire by Dan Wooten in his panel on Monday night, this was last week, and she was accused of salvating at the prospect of Conservative MP losing his seat in the next general election. And Dan's there literally, where is it now? Where is it? She's literally showing herself up as the archetypical Labour champagne socialist. She actually sneers at anyone who doesn't go to university and believes the only way you can be part of their set is if you're a university-educated person. Actually, that is not what she's on about. And I think she's been exposed as a total hypocrite. Vorders, the raging snob. He has this thing as well where on his shows, even when he was doing the news articles, he would put out nicknames for these people, and sometimes they would be some of the worst names you could think of. But he was allowed to put them out there. And he just goes on about going on. But you got one person who actually stuck up for Carol and was like, you're an idiot, Dan. You can't see what she's doing. So with that, obviously, Carol Vorderman has come out against Dan Wooten and she's praised what's actually happening. And it's not much, but Carol Vorderman, the former Countdown presenter, also took aim at Dan Wooten on Twitter as the GB News presenter made headlines. Vorderman said that karma was coming for the journalist just hours before he claimed to be the target of a smear campaign. Vorderman told her nearly 1 million followers, karma isn't a bitch today. She's a strong, smiling queen. Dan Wooten exposed. Thank you, Byland Times. Give them a follow. There may be more. And oh my God, was there more? We have seen how much more has come out regarding this. And I'm pretty sure that we may be getting parts 6 and 7 this week. I'm not too sure when we will, but when we do get them, they will be on the channel for you folks. If you are new to the channel, please like and subscribe. Let me know what you think of this down below. Why is the media not covering the Dan Wooten story like they did for every other scandal this year and in previous years? And I'll see you all soon.